All right, good morning. Welcome in. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 1059 The Zone. Wally Cummins in the house. He was kind enough to sous vide some steak and chicken, also wings, for us today. Jackson and I have been snacking the last 15 minutes and catching up with Wally, which is fun. He's cooked in here before for us. If you follow him on Twitter at Wally Cummins, he's always posting unbelievable food that he's doing out in his outdoor patio and kitchen. Today he sous vide steak, chicken, and then he did some Paula Deen's banana pudding, which we just tried, and it's amazing. You're listening to the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 1059 The Zone. We want you to watch on YouTube. Yes. Watch the show on YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. We've got all the food laid out. I'm kind of making some white Russians for Jackson. We brought the 7-year-old birthday party sprinkles for Jackson because a Tito's White Russian is not sweet enough for him, and he has to have the sprinkles too, but I also have cinnamon. Just in case some of you are more adult-driven and you just want to live. That kind of reminds me of Christmas and the holidays. White Russian, just a couple of shakes of some cinnamon. So go to YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. Wally may actually spin the Tito's prize wheel a little bit later in the segment. But we're going to start off by going over to Wally and let him talk about what he did today. And Let's start with Wally. Where are you from?
Originally, Canton. I went to high school, MRA. My adult life, I've lived in Brandon.
Okay.
Yeah, just across the reservoir.
All right, and tell us about Stephanie and the kids and your sweet family.
Stephanie married. We'll be married 14 years this year. We have a 6-year-old in first grade, and we have a 6-month-old. So spread out a little bit. Last couple of months kind of been a blur, but it's been awesome. Our oldest has been great with his brother. It's kind of special to watch them interact.
Yeah.
So I hope that continues. So
6 years old and 6 months old.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep. Awesome to be back here. Appreciate having me. Love your spot. Yeah. Always enjoy coming here. Been a few months since I've been in here.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. We got to get you in a couple of times a year, but you've been doing soccer and
fall gets
kids stuff and work.
Yeah.
And, all right, tell everybody what you do.
I'm in the real estate business. I'm a real estate appraiser. I've been doing that since I got out of college. Really like it. I have some great customers, meet people from all walks of life, go in people's houses, which is like as intimate as it gets. So I see good, bad, ugly, everything. So it's a cool job. And last few years have been pretty wild with COVID and everything.
And
went
interest rates and everything.
Interest rates, and now they're up a little bit, but the new norm has kind of settled in for people. So, but business is good. And then my wife owns a real estate company here, Front Gate Realty. So we're kind of in the real estate business. That's all we've ever done.
All right.
Plan on only doing that.
Wally and Stephanie Cummins live in the reservoir area.
Correct.
6-year-old, 6-month-old. Wally graduated from MRA. And where's Stephanie from?
She's from Clinton. She graduated from Clinton High, and we met at Mississippi State. Go Airs.
So Jackson went to Clinton. He got kicked out and had to finish at Mount Salus.
My wife did not get kicked out. She's a straight shooter.
No.
She sticks to the straight and narrow pretty well.
Yeah, well, thank God that's what women and females do for us. Is he good on, I didn't even check his mic. Is he good on that? Okay, great. All right, so Chef Wally Cummins in the house. You're listening to Out of Bounds, ESPN 1059 The Zone. We are excited that he's here and he cooked for us once again. We've been snacking on all this food and he's going to walk us through. But first, I want to talk about sous vide.
Yeah, so sous vide. People, when you say I'm going to sous vide something, people are like, "Oh, that's fancy," and it's like the furthest thing from fancy. It sounds like it is, but by name, but it's really just cooking something in water at a precise temperature. And there's several tools out there. I use an Anovo, like it goes into a water and it just circulates the water at whatever temperature. Obviously, each food requires a different type of temperature. Obviously, steaks, you want lower. Chicken, you got to cook them higher. to get them cooked. But the good thing about chicken and sous vide is, like a chicken breast, you can sous vide it at like 145 degrees for an hour plus, because it pasteurizes the meat and actually makes it cook to where it doesn't have any like bacteria or anything inside of it to hurt you. So that's what keeps it juicy. But it's so simple. I tell people all the time, it's like a crock pot, but a fancier version. And you can put stuff in there. Like my wife and I will do the chicken breasts from Costco weekly, sometimes twice a week. And you'll get them out of the freezer. There's 2 in a pack, so it's perfect for us. Drop it in there for an hour, pull it out, sear it, which is the critical part of all sous vide. Chef Ann Burrell says brown food tastes good. And that's like a great quote, because
I love that.
When it comes out of the sous vide, it does not look very appealing, because it's just like a yellow looking piece of chicken. And then so you got to dry it off and then hard sear it in a skillet and slice it up, put it on sandwiches, put it on salads, whatever.
All right, I think this is the key. So you sous vide it, and then the finishing it off is important.
Correct, in a skillet.
Okay.
And you got to get your skillet just ripping hot when you do it. And it doesn't take very long to finish it. So once you pull it out of that sous vide, it's only a few minutes and it's ready. And you don't have to let it rest. You don't have to really do any of that, because it's cooked at the exact temperature you want it. And if you're cooking steaks for a group of 6, 8, 12, it's really difficult to grill that many steaks and get them all right without overcooking or undercooking one. So you can drop those steaks in a sous vide, and it's basically foolproof. You're not going to mess it up. And then you look like you're a great chef when you really didn't overcomplicate it. You worked smarter.
Okay, so when did you start? Why did you start? Where'd you see it? Online, a friend?
So I was at...
Why and when did you start sous vide?
I was at a wedding reception, and it was steaks were on the menu, and every steak came out perfectly cooked, and I was like, and it was like cooked perfectly from end to end, top to bottom, and I was like, how did this happen? And I asked one of the people, and the guy was like, we sous vide our steaks. It's like the only way to cook them for 150 people and have them done at the right time. And so I started looking into it, and then this was when I lived in my other house, so this is well over 10 years ago. And I've had the same cooking devices and everything for the whole time. So it's like when you buy it, you can keep it, because you don't really use it that much. You use it once a week for 2 hours, and then you put it up. So and then I have tried all kinds of stuff, but I always come back to the chicken breast. That's like the best everyday, weekday meal you can cook with it.
How long did you sous vide the chicken?
If you drop it in there frozen like I do, it's about an hour and a half. But if it's thawed, it's an hour.
Okay.
That's how long it takes to truly pasteurize it and get it cooked to where it will not hurt you.
Okay.
At the lower temperature, which makes it juicy. You can taste that chicken. It's not dried out chicken breast like people think because chicken breast is extremely difficult to bake, grill.
Yeah, because
whatever.
when you grill it, it's hard for it not to be dry.
Exactly. That's why you almost never see grilled chicken breast unless it's like a super healthy item on the menu.
Right. Okay. An hour and a half frozen, an hour not frozen.
Yep. At like 145, 147, somewhere in that vicinity.
Is that same thing for the wings?
No, the wings got to be done higher. The wings are done at 165 because they got to be cooked a little bit more than that chicken. And you can't really the wings are going to stay more moist just by nature of the wing.
Right.
And then you're frying the wing after. So that doesn't hurt the moisture of the interior of the wing. So
okay.
So you sous vide the wings at 165 for about the same amount of time, then flash fry them, and then do them whatever you want. All these are dry, or sort of dry with the hot honey, but you can put barbecue sauce, you can put garlic, Parmesan, whatever you want on them after. But we typically do them dry.
Give me a little showcase. Show me a little. Prop that plate up of food.
This one?
Yeah, just a tad, just so we can see the.
Why don't I come over here?
The quality of it.
And the steaks, another.
Tell me where
that's good right there. Oh,
with the steaks, there's a fillet and then there's a top sirloin, and the top sirloin is obviously a cheaper cut of meat, but that top sirloin sous vide like that almost eats like a fillet for one third of the price.
It's fabulous.
What a look! Of
course, you cooked it rare.
Yeah, that's
Which
rare
is the way
plus
to go.
rare. Yeah, you can't overcook a sirloin; it just doesn't have enough fat in it.
No.
You gotta get a ribeye or whatever. You need to cook a ribeye more just because of the fat content in them.
Sure.
But and I don't like to necessarily do ribeyes and strips and stuff sous vide because those are more of an event grilling and cooking on the grill and getting that good sear, burn, char on those. This is really sous vide and is really for leaner cuts of meat, just in general, to keep them moist and keep them cooked right and not overcooked.
Out of Bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Wally Cummins putting on a culinary clinic this morning with some sous vide steak and chicken and Paula Deen's banana pudding. You can watch on YouTube right now. Search Out of Bounds Sports. Watch on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. Tell me about the seasoning on the wings.
One of them's just a really high-end lemon pepper, and then I added a little bit more pepper to it. My wife loves lemon pepper wings, so and they've grown on me over the years.
Yeah, so it's not my go-to.
Yeah.
But that was the first thing that I picked up, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, don't get just a cheap lemon pepper. You got to go to like Grills of Mississippi or somewhere and get a really good quality lemon pepper.
Okay.
And then the other is just a hot honey that you can buy.
That's
hot
got
honey.
A kick on, like you said, on the back.
You get the sweet, and then it lingers, and the heat kind of it grows on you. You got to have something. You need to have something to drink if you eat those wings.
We can handle that. This segment's brought to you by Key City, Mississippi Queen. Also, I just made a couple of Tito's White Russians, and I put some rainbow sprinkles on for Jackson, which you see at like 7-year-old birthday parties on cupcakes.
Milkshakes and cupcakes,
so the Tito's, Kahlua, and milk wasn't enough. Last time I made these, he was complaining about it not being sweet enough, so we've got sprinkles for.
Well, if anybody
Jackson
knows anything about Paula Deen, there's no way that banana pudding's not sweet enough.
I can't wait.
Sweet is her middle name.
Man.
All right, so let's talk about that. You heard us talking about, I think, banana pudding a month or so ago. Walk us through, because you've got some great pictures on Twitter, at Wally Cummins, at Bo Bounds. He started tagging us yesterday. We're eating the banana pudding right now. It goes great, by the way, with a Tito's White Russian. Tell me about the banana pudding.
I had never seen this before, and I started Googling it. She uses the Chessman cookies, which is the difference maker in that banana pudding versus just the basic vanilla wafers. And, I mean, it's just full of all the goodness. The powdered sugar, cream cheese, condensed milk.
Oh, yeah.
Vanilla pudding. I mean, it is Whip.
Hey.
It is diabetes in a tray.
Wally, how many calories do you think is in this?
It weighs like 20 pounds.
It does.
That thing's big.
It's dense. I'd say that's probably every bit of a 600 or 700 serving calorie dessert.
That's just funny. That is right up my
Add the White Russian, you got a full day.
Yeah, you got a full deal.
In one dessert.
All right, so I interrupted you. Go ahead.
The Chessman cookies is the thing, and then I top it. She doesn't layer hers. She basically does a bottom and a top. And I like different textures across the thing. So I do a layer, another layer of cookies, and another layer, and then I just top it with vanilla wafers on the top. So it's very simple. It's no bake. I follow a guy on Twitter, Brett Bakes is his name. He's a really good baker, and he asked me if it was no cook or cook, because back in our grandparents, they used to cook their banana pudding, and a lot of times it was served warm with meringue or whatever, but this is just the way I like it. I like it cold, and I like it. It's sweet.
It's so good. Okay, we just had a question on your sous vide.
Okay.
Bo Bounds, Wally Cummins, Jackson Meadows, the Out of Bounds show. We'll also throw in, this is brought to you by Visit Mississippi and Visit MS, because we're always talking about food and fun stuff. You can go to YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. We've got a treat this morning, sous vide chicken, filet, sirloin, wings, and then this Paula Deen's banana pudding. And Wally nailed it. It's all about the cookie or whatever you said. The
Chessman cookies.
Yeah.
Chessman.
Big around the holidays.
Oh, this is perfect for November and December.
Yeah.
Good grief. Everybody's having fun.
You stop
I
counting
tell you what
calories
pairs well with
anyway.
this is a bold red wine.
Yeah.
So you could do a red blend, you could do a Syrah, you could do a Grenache, you could do a Malbec. Any of those wines, if you've had a great meal, like while you've already done the protein and the app and all that, and you do banana pudding and you pair it with a really medium plus but full-bodied red wine, But some people like the lighter.
Does
You can go
anything
with
come to
Pinot
mind
Tempranillo.
off the top of your head, like a certain wine?
Maybe
Yeah, I mean, I would go with something like
barefoot of some
Numantia,
sort. Oh.
Yeah.
which is. But I mean, you and I had Dakota Shy a couple of months ago. Okay, that's a big.
Yeah.
That is a phenomenal, really big cab. I can't remember if we had the blend or the cab. Either way, it's
Grenache.
delicious. Yeah. And so Grenache is going to be more full-bodied than Tempranillo.
Yeah.
Just kind of depend. So a lot of times the women are going to gravitate to Pinot or Tempranillo style grape. But for me, if I'm having a big steak or a fantastic dessert, then going to lead into a Spring Street cigar, I want a big red blend or a big Syrah or a big Grenache.
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
You know, and it caps off the evening. All right, we had a listener ask on the sous vide. Have you sous vide game? Like I know you hunt. Are there some things that you like to sous vide?
Yeah, you can obviously. Venison is so lean. It falls into the category of the filet and you need to cook venison the same. You don't want to get it over medium rare. You got to keep it more on the rare side.
Right.
Most game is big by nature. It's a lean animal because it's out in the environment, flying around, running around. So most wild game is lean. So pretty much anything. If you want to do like a quail, you had a quail, you could sous vide a quail in there and then batter it and flash fry it, or sous vide it and sear it off just like this, or turkey. I mean, you could probably sous vide a turkey breast in there and it would be phenomenal. I've never done it, but I would assume it's just like the chicken breast.
We had quail out in the left field lounge last year.
Yeah, it's a delicacy. Yeah, I went quail hunting a few years ago in South Georgia, and they cooked us some world-class meals at the place I was staying, and that's one of the first times I'd ever had quail. And now, anytime I can find it, I'll order it. What's
your favorite? Dove, duck, deer, quail? What's your favorite to hunt?
I like bird hunting. Duck hunting is kind of gone by the wayside in Mississippi, it feels like, because there's not as many birds. But I love dove hunting. I love the fellowship involved in quail hunting because you're kind of hanging out with people and socializing and walking through the woods. I grew up deer hunting, so that's always going to be a staple in my life. I got some friends that are just die-hard deer hunters.
Me too. And duck.
They're just getting off the stand right now. And so die-hard duck hunters they're out there. Those are some people. They're crazy about it.
Good Lord.
It's expensive and it's hard.
Yeah. These guys putting, $500,000, $1 million a piece into their duck camps.
Yeah,
what?
I got a couple.
They got to be running cocaine.
Yeah, I go hunting with a friend of mine, Jim Owen from high school. I've known him forever. Me and him go hunting every year together at his family's place up in the Delta. It's just we cook, hang out, fires.
That's what I'm good at.
Go hunt. If we kill something, great. If we don't, great.
Right.
I'm a lot more lackadaisical about it than he is. He kind of gets mad at me because I'm not wanting to sit out there all day.
Right.
But
me neither.
We work it out.
Sure.
I'll go back and light the fire.
That's what I'll go back, light the fire, and light a cigar.
Yeah.
And start all the prep and pour a wilderness trail rye.
But game would be great for sous vide. It really would.
Okay. There was one other question that I had.
You got to get him to talk about his hole-in-one.
Oh, that's right. Les Penn, Texas. All right. So Wally Cummins grew up in Canton. I did the show from the Canton 4-ball.
Yeah.
A month or two ago, which is an unbelievable tournament. They had, I don't know how many people out there.
Great tournament.
But they have now 30 to 40 teams on the wait list.
It's been full for decades.
Okay.
Yeah. So, in the day you were out there, so I've had a crazy year of golf. My team won the Lester Penn with the other Penn, so Chad, Les's brother, which I was proud of Chad for that because he's the only Penn that had not won it. Then the day you were out there at Canton, I made an albatross, which is a 2 on a par 5, which is like one of the things you'd never even dream of doing. And then this past Monday, I made a hole-in-one at the Lieutenant Governor's tournament in Vicksburg. So I guess I've been living right.
All right, hold on. Set us up. The hole, the yardage, give us everything.
Yeah, it was 18 at Vicksburg, 135. I hit a pitching wedge, hit it good, landed about 15 feet behind the hole, rolled back, tracked right in. We could see it go in the hole from the tee box. So And I was playing with 3 guys that work acquaintances I'd never played with, so we'll have a special memory together forever because of that. The golf gods have been shining on me this year.
He hit an albatross and a hole-in-one within 60 days?
Yeah, and I probably had not played but like 4 rounds between them, between the 2 times. And
yeah, because you got a 6-year-old and a 6-month-old.
It's not like I'm playing golf 3 or 4 times a week or anything. So
hole-in-one.
So I got to take my son playing golf this afternoon because he thinks he can make a hole-in-one now. And
I'm this is fantastic.
Pump the brakes. Let's try to get a par.
Right. That's so much fun.
It's just kids. It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, my son is eating up with golf. It's the stories are amazing. Of course, he's up at Mississippi State playing Old Waverly and Starkville Country Club. I'm like, you're living the dream.
Yeah, we play the Lester Penn up there, the charity deal. It's awesome. We're doing good with that. Always looking for sponsors if anybody wants to get on board. It's for a good cause. We'd sponsor the Randy Watkins Jr. Cup at Lake Caroline. So it's basically all for junior golf because that's all of us grew up playing golf as juniors under legendary Robbie Webb, who's newly inducted Hall of Fame, Mississippi Hall of Fame. Yeah, he taught all of us golf. So
that's
big connection of youth golf around here.
And y'all do that at Old Waverly, which is super cool. Again, visit MS. That's tourism all day long. All right, before we go, he's got to spin the Tito's prize wheel once, and we'll just pick someone that's watching on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports, okay?
You ready?
All right, so we've got Golden Moon Rooms, Out of Bounds swag, Burgers, Blues, and Barbecue, gift certificates, Raggio stuff, all kinds of stuff.
Anything but studio air.
Yeah, a bag of air from the studio.
I'm re-spinning if I get that.
That was Blake.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Autograph sports swag.
All right.
Jake Mangum or something?
Jake Mangum, Roy Oswalt, Jeff Brantley, Brent Rooker, who hit how many bombs this year?
39.
39 bombs.
Jake was on a tear at the end of the year.
He was on a. So Jackson's all into his fantasy team, and he gave me a Brent Rooker report the last 60 days of the season, which was great.
He was so
Don't worry about those things. Hey, Rooker hitting 39 bombs this year and making the All-Star team last year with the Oakland A's. Triple Crown winner.
Yep. 100-plus RBIs, 39 bombs, batted almost 300.
Only 2 in the history of the SEC.
Fantasy baseball is a commitment.
Oh, it's so good.
Rafael Palmeiro and Brent Rooker. Only 2
legends.
Triple Crown winners. Wally, we appreciate it, man.
Man, thanks. Awesome. If anybody has any questions, tweet at me. I'm happy to answer people's questions.
At Wally Cummins, he's always posting unbelievable food pics that make me jealous because I can't cook like him and Les and Kendall and all these guys. But super cool. Sous vide, steak and chicken, and Paula Deen's banana pudding. Thanks for listening to the show. We'll be live from Dancing Rabbit Golf Club tomorrow morning.